Hello, folks. Kyle here. Welcome in. It is Wednesday night. How's everyone doing tonight? I see we got a few folks strolled in early here. We got Heath from Frontier Survival, John from Small Water Charters, Tiger Muskie NM, and Matt from Daddy Duck 365. So it's Wednesday night. Kind of got a lot to chit chat about. I threw up a theme for tonight. Maybe it's kind of piggybacking off of what I did a few weeks ago. We were talking about famous outdoorsmen or celebrity outdoorsmen, people we've seen on TV or that are, they're well known for whatever reason. Well, this is kind of ratcheting that up a little bit, taking it up a notch. Like, of those folks or any folks that we might have chit-chatted about, who would we actually put in a Hall of Fame? I don't know if we'd put all of them in there, but certainly some of them. Tom Celtic and Everything Outdoors is in the house. Welcome in. We got Tina Ladybug is in the house. Welcome in. It's great to have you here. So, yeah, we'll get into some chit-chat about the Hall of Fame. And that can be the Hall of Fame of anything. It could be the Hall of Fame of fishing. It could be the Hall of Fame of hunting. I don't even know if there is one, but we use hypotheticals here, right? We just make it up as we go along. It could be the Hall of Fame for bushcraft. It could be the Hall of Fame for dirt racing or whatever you're into. The Hall of Fame of camping. I don't know how that could be determined or judged, but we'll have a little fun with that. We got Section 8 Outdoors is in the house. We got Tiger NM. Did I mention you already? I might have mentioned you already. We got Anti-Ajax is in the house. I'm probably just repeating myself now. I'll get it squared away. Yeah, I promise you. Before I jump right into that, I love that guys are throwing names out. That's fantastic. This coming Saturday is opening day of bow season, and I'm super excited for that. I get really jazzed up for opening day. None of my friends do, none of my family, just about anybody I know that hunts are like they barely care about opening day. So it's, poo-poo on them, I get excited for it. Now, I'll admit that I don't really do a lot of bow hunting in the early season outside of opening day. There's a couple of reasons for that. The biggest is that I've been out on opening day and had some encounters with some mature bucks. Now, I've usually managed to botch it and screw it up. I don't know if you call it rusty or not truly ready or just not focused, or I don't know. I've had opportunities and I have not cashed in on them. But now my best friend Scott, he's gone several times and he's never even seen a mature buck or any bucks, I don't think. He's kind of gotten to the point where he's like, it's too hot. I don't see nothing. I'm not fooling with it. But can you lay down? Pico pops. So, hey, there's Heath. He made it back. Welcome in. Frontier Survival is in the house. And then the other part of it is that's the only time during the hunting season that you can hunt a mature buck that hasn't been hunted for 10 months. That's the only time. It does not take long for people filtering into the woods, driving those back roads that never get driven. And those mature bucks have been around 3, 4, 5 years. They figure it out. It does not take them long at all to say, whoa, I know what's going on. These people are coming in here. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. I'm going nocturnal, or I'm gonna go where there's no people coming in. I got an answer for this. But on opening day, that's the one time when you can ambush them. You can surprise them. You can catch them off their guard. Matt is listening and editing. He's been doing a lot of duck hunting lately. He's got video footage galore. That's kind of how I was back in June. I get ahead of the schedule at the peak of the fishing season, and I love that. I love being out in front of the schedule where I've got the next 3-4 weeks of video uploads planned out. I don't always have them finished. They're not always a finished product, but I've got the footage for them. So, each week I just got to do the editing and post it. So that's cool. That's cool. So I'm super excited for opening day. The other thing before jumping into tonight's theme that I wanted to touch on, I know we're all part of a community and a lot of us are support each other. Cody from After 5 Outdoors the other night, he did a live stream and he was talking about hunting YouTubers getting demonetized. And it was kind of is this a thing? Is this not a thing? I wanted to touch on it. I wasn't able to join that live stream because I wasn't feeling well. I was considering it, but then I just, my allergies and everything else, I just kind of socked me in the gut. So I shut it down for the evening, but I watched it the following morning, and I appreciated all of those that chimed in. Now, I don't know. I'm torn because there's a side of me that says that's a big niche to chop your foot off, so to speak. To use Cody's analogy, for whatever their viewership, their membership, their people that belong to YouTube and participate, you would think they'd have ad sponsors, ad folks that want to run ads on those types of videos that are going to be outdoorsy, whether it's a Cabela's or a Bass Pro Shops or REI or Mossy Oak, or the list goes on and on and on and on and on. There's thousands of companies out there that would love to advertise or get their products in front of people that are going to spend money on their stuff, right? Raymond Williams is in the house. Welcome in. So it doesn't really resonate that they can't get advertising clientele to match that niche. I would think that's the only place it's coming from. YouTube is a business. They're in a business to make money. I go back to Cody's analogy. Why would they cut their foot off? They're gonna cut that much out just on a principle, just on what a few people may believe. I don't think that they would. That's one side of me. One side of me feels a lot how Cody was talking about this, and I think Matt he indicated he watched some of those videos several times, and he left feeling a little on shaky ground, but not 100% convinced of their message the sky was falling. I think I'm mostly leaning that way, but there's a part of me that looks at this from the standpoint of YouTube is known for just doing whatever they want. Yeah, there's nothing in the terms of service. There's nothing in the whatever. But if they want to turn off your monetization for a month just because, who's going to challenge them? Who's going to no one's going to challenge them. the biggest YouTuber ain't gonna make enough money to fight them and their team of lawyers. So they can just do it just because they want to. And they're known for doing that, just doing stuff because they want to. Like when somebody applies for monetization and they just say, no, you've got problems with your channel. Well, what are they? They don't tell you. So they don't have to tell you. They're just not right now. We see stuff we don't like. Well, what is it? Then I'm supposed to filter through all this stuff on my own just to figure out the one or two pieces that you don't like. Hey, Heath, I can relate. We got a ton of rain here today, too. We got a little bit last night, but, man, today it has rained pretty near all day. I just brought my puppy in, and she's like a wet sock right now. Rain don't bother her none. So I wanted to come on. I did want to touch on that. I am going to just business as usual for me. Well, like I said, I just got done telling you I was excited about opening day of bow season. So that's happening. And I'll have my camera with me Saturday. Mark J. Larson Outdoors is in the house. Welcome in, brother. Like I said, that Saturday's opening day. I get excited for that every year. I'll be taking my camera and I'll be filming it. If I see nothing, whatever, I'll probably make a video of whatever I saw. You know, it's my first hunt. I had a lot of fun with that last year, kind of my public land series where I was kind of chronicling my my hunts out on public land here in Ohio, and it seemed to get a lot of traffic, a good amount of volume. The search, I got quite a lot of that. A lot of my viewership came through search on that, so I think I'm going to hit that again for this fall. Ideally, I'll be successful. I think it helps that I'm switching to a crossbow. I'm shooting regularly. I'm staying dialed in, focused with my crossbow, and that's going to be a lot better than having a bum arm that I didn't practice shooting all season. And then when I finally had the opportunity last year, I kind of choked. But I don't think that's going to be the case this year. Gonna knock down a deer one way or another. Hey, we got LG Homestead is in the house. Welcome in. All right, I have rambled on for a little while. I like to do that when I open my live stream, just chit chat about what's going on, maybe what's coming up on my channel or what's been the hot topic. And I know that's that topic from Cody's live stream the other night there's been some chatter about it. I'll be honest with you, my recent video about just getting my crossbow dialed in, I had somebody leave a comment that said, hey, they're demonetizing hunting videos. So I mean, there's definitely some chatter going around about that, but I am going to be business as usual unless I see something that is really really substantial. And, worst case scenario is I'd have all this content for an emergent new platform, because if YouTube were to shut everything down for hunting, fishing, trapping, there's too big of a market for it. So someone would build a platform or whatever. We would all find a place. We're not going away. Wow. Hey, we got a new someone in here that I've never seen before. Anglican Fishing Buntock. Hey, welcome in. Glad to have you. Come on in. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame for every different little outdoors niche we can think of. I mean, if you're a ski jumper and you want to nominate someone for the Hall of Fame of ski jumping, be my guest. But yeah, anything under the sun. Since I mentioned that, and we are going to jump into that, the theme for tonight's live stream, somebody, I am going to go back and find it. Was it Tiger NM or was it Anti? Yes, it was Tiger NM. He mentioned Jim Shockey. And for a hunting Hall of Fame, I think, that was the first name that came to my mind. It was Jim Shockey. What are those brothers up in Maine? What are their names? It often escapes me. It starts with is it the Barry Wenzel? The Wenzel brothers? They're very accomplished in the world of hunting. I think that I would nominate them for sure for a hunting Hall of Fame. Anti-Ajax says he wants to harvest a goose while he's in the air off of a ski jump. Are you going to do that with a weapon, or are you just going to snatch it with your hands? Get your goose call and hit it when you're going down the ramp. All right, Mark, Flava Flav. Don't work too hard. Yeah, the thumbs up for sure. Who else is an accomplished hunter? A world-renowned hunter. Traveled all over the world. I don't even know. Emmy girl. I don't even know. Like I said, Jim Shockey came to mind. Just because she's on TV and I've heard of her. Maybe a Michelle Bachmann. I know she's hunted multiple big game species. And like I said, she's been on TV, but I don't know. Maybe I'd nominate her. I don't know if she'd get in. If the whole hunting community, the whole outdoors community would vote her in. I don't know. John is going to nominate Mama for the freshwater fishing Hall of Fame because she outfishes him almost every single time. Now, someone, I suppose they were being funny, said that they would nominate me, and a more accurate nomination for me would be for the Fishing Hall of Shame. I am not super accomplished. I have no records. I have no tournament wins. I have no grandiose trophy fish. I have a 13-pound walleye, which is a darn nice fish, if I do say so myself. But certainly not Hall of Fame or anything. Josh James. New England hunt or a New Zealand hunter. Yeah, that New Zealand's a fascinating place. It'd be neat to go there and hunt the red stag. That'd be just fantastic. You're absolutely right, John. You're absolutely right. I think he'd be a first ballot inductee because the conservation that he brought to our nation, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah. We're going to switch that to the Hall of Shame, John. For me, not for Roosevelt. Roosevelt would belong in a hunting Hall of Fame for sure. Daniel Boone. There's a great name. Heath. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right there. You know, the Hall of Fame for everything, whether it was you want to talk about fishing or Hall of Fame for hunting or Hall of Fame for bushcraft or Hall of Fame for survival skills. Old Zealand would be fun. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'll look him up for sure. For sure. Like I said, I've seen a lot of different hunts on the for red stag, and it looks like a fun critter to hunt. Kind of a cross between a deer and an elk, and the way that they behave and the way that they utilize their habitat. It'd be a fun critter to hunt for sure. Davy Crockett could beat up Daniel Boone. I don't know much about the outdoor skills of a Davy Crockett, but he must have had money at some point, because all I can ever think of is that old expression that he's got more money than Davy Crockett. But Jiminy Crouch, he must have had a lot of money for back in the frontier days, I guess. So maybe. Oh, my goodness, John. That's fantastic. Right off the bat, for Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame, I would nominate all of the Lindner brothers, Ron Lindner, Al Lindner, and James Lindner. They've been tremendous to the fishing industry, and not just because they were TV personalities, but those guys revolutionized fishing in the upper Midwest. They were smoking the tournaments. They were winning every walleye tournament in sight with their Lindy rigs and their lure riggings that they came up with on their own, and then they ended up selling that to Northland Tackle Company, and then Craig. Oh, hey, Matthew Smalls. Welcome in. Glad to have you. He has nominated Craig Boddington and Elmer Keith. All right. So I got derailed. Oh, the Lindners. Yeah, so they were winning tournaments like it was nobody's business, just smoking the competition. And then they ended up selling that lure company, and they used the proceeds to start the End Fisherman, and that wasn't just a fishing show, but it was magazine, and they did species catalogs, and plus the television show. They really took multi-species angling to that next level. We got Fess Parker was nominated. I'm not sure who that is. Now I've heard, or maybe that's just a joke. Like I said, I'm not familiar who it is, so I wouldn't be able to say yay or nay. There's a Hank Parker in the world of fishing, but I certainly wouldn't nominate him for a Hall of Fame. He maybe Hall of Fame of nice guys. but not a fishing Hall of Fame. I think he won one Bassmasters Classic, one or two, and then he said, I'm done. No more tournaments. I'm just going to fish with celebrities and privately stocked lakes. Same with Bill Dance. Bill Dance, I think he's worthy of consideration, if for nothing else, that just longevity, sticking around, and you add in his goofiness, his bloopers. He's kind of known for fishing, known for being a relatively common guy, easily relatable, blah, blah, blah. And of course, John nominated his buddy, Roland Martin. He's first name basis with Roland. Son! I have no problem with that nomination. Now, if I was on the panel and I was voting, I don't know if I'd vote him in. I think he's definitely worthy of a nomination. Definitely worthy. Because he was a force to be reckoned with in the tournaments at one point in time. And for the big money tournaments. Oh, okay. He was an actor. Yeah, okay. I don't know there you go. There you go, Matt. For the for the survivalists out there, would we nominate a Les Stroud, or dare I say, what's the young fellow from Britain's name? It escapes me. I don't know. He had a show for a while, but he got in trouble because people found out he was staying in hotels. Yeah, Les Stroud. I'd nominate him for sure. I mean, he's a well-known survivalist. Oh, Bear Grylls. That's the young fella from Europe, from England, I think. Bear Grylls. Is he? I have no idea. I don't know if he's a fraud or what. Oh, we got Ed Stafford and Matt Graham. Okay. Those are some names I'm not familiar with, Ed Stafford and Matt Graham. We got the Reef Robbers in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. I like it when Phil Robertson says, happy, happy, happy. That's my favorite line from the whole show. Happy, happy, happy. Everybody happy, happy, happy. We got Backwoods Mindset is in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. Cody Lundeen. Hey, there's a great name. That's a name that I recognize. I don't know that I inherently know who that is, but I know I've heard that name before. Daniel from Backwoods Barbarian. That's a strong nomination. I second that. Good dude. Has lots of skills, man. He's got a sharp mind, too. I love his creative mind to attach a GoPro to a dead rabbit carcass and watch the owl peck at it from 4 inches away. It's just brilliant. Yeah, I don't know who that is. The barefoot guy on Dual Survival. We don't know what his name is, but he's the shorter fellow that walks around bare feet. Doug Easton? Yeah, absolutely. Or Fred Bear. I think we could nominate Fred Bear. I'll even type it in so it's in print. The back to the hunting, yeah, we would consider Doug Easton for sure and Fred Bear for sure. And I might even consider a Bill Jordan or a Toxie Haas, guys that kind of brought camouflage to the next level. Before that, we kind of had army stuff, tree bark stuff. You know. Earl. Oh, thank you, Heath. The light bulb goes off. That's that's where I've heard that name. He's that guy. God, I don't know how I couldn't make that connection. Woo! Right over my head, Heath. You gotta drill it down for me, man. It's late at night. We got off the hook outdoors in the house. Maybe he'll know who some of these people are. We got straight to the point outdoors is in the house. We got Cody from Master 5 Outdoors is in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you guys can nominate some people I've heard of because these folks are hitting me with Cody Lundeen. I had to be told that's the barefoot guy on Dual Survival. I will say this, though. That guy knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. He really does. That's a fine nomination, man. If I was in a survival situation and it was me and one other person on a plane that crashed, the both of us survived, who would I want that other person to be? We're in the middle of nowhere. It'd probably be either Les Stroud or Cody Lundeen, from what I've seen. I mean, I'd like to think I'd do okay on my own, but anything beyond 3 days, 4 days, I don't know. Emmy girl. Yeah, we talked about the weather earlier. Here in Ohio, I've just been getting hammered with this rain all day. We kind of needed it, so we kind of needed it for sure in my area. Not that we weren't nearly as bad off as Minnesota's been, or at least where Cody's at. I hear some places up there, the lakes are having 50 to 100 yards, 200 yards of bank exposed. We don't have it that bad. Dakota the Dancing Bear. Yeah, that's Hall of Fame worthy right there. Cleveland. Cleveland rocks, man. Cleveland rocks. Oh, okay. You guys must have gotten a little bit of rain here in this early fall period. This whole year we've never gone too long without rain, but most of the rain that we've gotten, I'd say mid-July to now, to before today, has been just enough to get everything wet, like water the grass, water the flowers, water the crops, but nothing. Our creeks and our rivers never really got spiked from the rain. They're getting a bump between yesterday and today. The creeks will be rising. So I might get out fishing next week on a creek or river. Rain makes corn. So we'll see. Who are some other fishermen? I'm talking Hall of Fame worthy fishermen, not just some dope that had a television show. I mean, Hank Parker's a super guy, as nice a guy as you probably ever find in the world, in the industry of fishing, but I don't know if I'd call him a Hall of Famer. No, I'm not. I'm not going to second the Babe Winkleman nomination. Nope. He's just a guy. I saw someone earlier mentioned Tom Miranda. And he's an Ohio guy, or at least he's originally from Ohio. I have no use for a Tom Miranda. And I would not second that nomination. If I was on the panel, I would strike to have him removed. Not only would I not vote for him, I'd say, he's not worthy. No. Yeah, Cody, I mentioned the Linder brothers, all of them, Ron, Allen, James, what they've done in the upper Midwest. Not only were they accomplished tournament anglers, but and I mean accomplished, they were smoking them. And they developed their tackle rigging, and then they sold it, and then they built up their empire at the end fishermen, and now they Angling Edge. They're educators in the sport. It's tremendous what they've done. I'd put them all in. Larry Dahlberg is a great name. I think he's worthy of it for sure. There's another name, a couple other names I missed. Heath from Frontier Survival is nominating a Jeremy Wade. Now, that's a fantastic nomination. I think he's super accomplished for traveling all over the world and catching exotic species and chronicling it and telling the story of it. Raymond Williams is throwing out Bob Izumi. Is that a saltwater guy? I've been hoping somebody would know the saltwater guys, because I don't know any of the saltwater guys. I mean, about the only guy that I would consider nominating for a saltwater fishing Hall of Fame would be someone like Flip Pallett. I don't know that he was super accomplished, but I love that he was the great storyteller of saltwater fishing. Guys that were famous bone fishermen, fly fishermen down there on the flats and the Keys. We have a Rick Clunn and a Shaw Grigsby thrown out there. Those are interesting nominations. Shaw Grigsby has one of my favorite saltwater fishing episodes. He was fishing topwater for barracuda, and he got one to hit. I mean, he's racing his lure across the surface at like frantic speed. This barracuda comes and drills it, and he sets the hook on this fish, and it's a freight train. And it just looked like more fun than a guy should be allowed to have, because it was fantastic. I would nominate that episode for the Hall of Fame. I don't know if I'd put him in it, but I'd put that episode as one of the best of all time that I'd ever seen in my life. That was fantastic. Yeah, John, we were talking about, I said this was a piggyback off of my live stream from a few weeks back where I did kind of famous outdoorsmen, but this is taking it up a notch. This is the Hall of Fame. This isn't just the regular guys. Jose Wahabi? Yeah. I don't think you did, but that's okay. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he had a good fishing show. I don't know if I put him in the Hall of Fame. Maybe. Oh boy. Yeah, Babe Winkleman, to me, he's just a guy. Good for him. He had a show. Good for Tom Miranda. They put him on a show. Good for a lot of these guys. They put them on a show. I don't know that they. When I think of Hall of Fame, I think first of all you have to show that you're accomplished in whatever outdoor niche you fit into. If it's fishing, did you win tournaments? Did you innovate? Did you create new lures? Did you revolutionize the sport in any way? Did you elevate tournament fishing to a new level because you were head and shoulders above everybody else? Did you change the sport? Did you transcend the sport? Did you create a media conglomerate that educated the masses and everyone wanted to be a member? I don't know. Who started BASS? Was that Ray Scott? Maybe I put him in the Hall of Fame. Maybe I put Ray Scott in the Hall of Fame. I think he built it up. He was definitely in that group for sure. Did Babe Winkleman do bloopers? Huh. Like someone mentioned Larry Dahlberg before. I don't know if everyone knows this, but Larry Dahlberg created the Whopper Plopper. He literally created that lure. And that lure is just massive in the world of predominantly bass fishing, but people catch northern pike and muskie and everything else on them lures. You know, that's it's tremendous. He's definitely I'd probably put him in. If I'm on the panel and I'm getting a vote, he's going to get the yes vote for me. Is for Larry Dahlberg. Buck Commander. I don't know. Maybe. Outdoors with Big Matt. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Welcome in. Geez, I wish I could think of more saltwater guys. There's probably some pretty serious bluefin tuna guys that deserve strong consideration. The Wicked Pisser from Wicked. I have no idea what that guy's name is. Paul something? Paul Abear or something like that? Steve Ranella? That's a name that I recognize, but I can't pinpoint it. You'd have to tell me that he's the barefoot guy on some show for me to put it together. Because Heath had to explain to me that Cody Lindeen is the barefoot guy from Dual Survivor. Here's another name that we might think of, like a Johnny Morris. Elevated the world of outdoor retailers. I think that's a valid nomination, a Johnny Morris. For sure. For sure. Tom Rosenbauer. I don't know who that is. Is that right, Heath? Ernest Hemingway was a legendary hunter. I thought he was just a writer. I had no idea. I had no idea. I feel like that makes me look like not very well educated, but I openly admit that I'm a dork. I'm not trying to be the smartest guy in the chat or whatever. I like that nomination. Whoop. He also fished. Didn't he live in the Keys? Yeah, I thought he was a writer down in the Keys. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Orvis is a brand that I'm familiar with in the world of fly fishing for sure. So I didn't know that that's who that was. Thank you for shedding light on that for me, Anti-Jack. Who else? Who else? We've got a former president. We've got retail innovators, tournament fishermen. We've got guys that are world-class hunters. We're all learning tonight, right? Aldo Leopold, he was a a lot of our advancements in glass, binoculars and that sort of thing. I think we owe to some degree to an Aldo Leopold, and he was a staunch conservationist. He's probably right up there with Roosevelt in the world of conservation. Aldo Leopold would definitely be a strong nomination. That guy Dorf, right? The Undertaker, yeah. The name Dale Earnhardt crossed my mind because such a well-known guy, and he did hunt and fish, but I don't know if I'd put him in a fishing Hall of Fame. I'm sure he's already in the NASCAR Hall of Fame or Racing Hall of Fame or some Hall of Fame. Oh, he went over to Africa a lot? Okay. What about Dick Cheney? Didn't he go hunting and he shot one of the other? Isn't he the one that shot somebody when he's out there bird hunting? Hey, we got Big Al's in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. Backwoods Mindset met Justin Bieber while he was walleye fishing years ago. Do you mean that you were walleye fishing and you met him? Or yeah, if I read that correctly, it wouldn't have been Justin Bieber was the one walleye fishing. Oh boy, a strike. You're in trouble now, John. They're gonna get you. Yeah, John Candy. Let's put him in the Outdoors Hall of Fame. I mean, who else can handle a bear like he did? The bear-loving guy from Super Trooper. That's funny. That's funny. We're building a comedy wing in our Outdoors Hall of Fame. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. They weren't all sharpshooters, right? Hey, Miguel, what you doing? Probably gets a little antsy when she wants to be with the kiddos and they're trying to go to sleep. I don't want her in there chewing on the trim because she's done that before. Oh, yeah. Mark Twain. Oh, am I gonna be the one that gets in trouble for that? YouTube's gonna hit me with a strike. Bring it on, man. I'm just being funny. I don't care who you are. Dick Cheney shooting his hunting buddy is funny. Oh my goodness. Who else? Prominent names in the outdoors world that we haven't come up with. Any boat manufacturer guys out there? Yeah, Cody, I mentioned that at the beginning in my little. I always open my live streams with just chit chat about whatever, maybe upcoming content or what's going on, hot topics, trends, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I did touch on that. I'm pretty sure I have. Straight to the point outdoors. I recall that scene very vaguely. I mean, I bet you it's been 20 years since I've seen that. But I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen that. But then Cody, back to your live stream. I watched it the following morning. I wasn't feeling very well that evening. I mentioned that I'm twofold on this. I see it the way you see it, mostly talked about it on your live stream, and Matt kind of echoed your sentiments, was that I'm not sure it's a thing. And if it is a thing, I think most of me feels like it's not really a thing. But then there is a small part of me that feels like YouTube can do whatever they want. No one's going to challenge them. So I don't think they're going to cut their foot off. That's kind of the analogy that you were making the other night. And you would think that even if there were some advertisers that were a little bit not too keen on it and making a fuss, they could appease those folks by saying, hey, we're going to bring in the niche advertisers for those folks. It's just going to be outdoorsy clientele advertising on their videos. We won't put all the other folks on there. It'll just be Cabela's and Mossy Oak, and there's thousands of outdoors products, whatever. I don't know. Hey, we got the right strapping is in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. But there's money to be made. Why would they cut off their foot and just wipe out all that entire niche? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's enough bad stuff on other niches, the gamers with the language, or that some of the women and their scantily clad clothing, whatever. There's other bad stuff out there, and they're not getting shamed and demonetized and all those things. So I'd have to see a whole lot more than just a handful of folks saying, hey, this is what's happening. And until I do, I'm business as usual. I'm going to keep putting that content out there. I mentioned that I'm excited for Saturday because this coming Saturday is our opening day of bow season, and I always get super excited for that. Hey, Emmy, come over here. Come lay in the kitchen with me. Chill out. So I'm taking my camera. I don't know if I'll get a deer, but I might see some deer. I might come have an opportunity. I might shoot one. Who knows? But I'll have my camera, and I'm just going to proceed business as usual. John Wayne was a hunter and a fisherman. That's a interesting name. He was not just an actor. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting that they hit you with limited on that discussion. That's interesting. Wow. Gosh, I guess they're going to hit this one too. Wait, I'm not monetized. I may never be monetized. I don't know. It's good to have dreams, man. I just got to keep going, right? Persistence. Keep going. Yoked. Are there any famous coyote hunters or predator hunters out there? I don't know if there is. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to be business as usual until I see wide scale them wiping it out. But I mentioned this too, Cody. If they were to try to just go after it, maybe little by little initially, and then just full scale, they're going to wipe out hunting, fishing, trapping. There's so many of us that somebody would build a new platform. I don't think it would take long for us to find a place to share our content and grow and do all these things. It would not be that hard. It would not be that hard. The right strapping does. Okay. Should we put you in the Hall of Fame for predator hunting? For hunting? I'm trying to think there's a famous coyote hunter out west. Hunts Arizona and Utah and New Mexico. If I heard the name, I'd say, yeah, that's it. But I can't come up with it on my own. Oh, I'm sure it is, Cody. The technology behind this stuff. I had an idea for a phone app that I thought was pretty clever, and I poked around, and good God. To do it the wrong way would be 10 grand. To do it the right way would be about 125 grand. Yeah, I don't have that laying around. I don't have either of those laying around. Living in men outdoors. Daniel and possibly Rachel with him. I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. I always just assume it's just Daniel, but I guess Rachel could be right there with you too. Les. I mentioned Les Stroud earlier as kind of a survivalist Hall of Fame guy. Les Johnson. Okay. Yeah, it was kind of a spin-off idea for that. But anyway, that's not going anywhere. I'm a single guy. I've been there and done that. Tinder is just a bunch of fake accounts. They want you to think there's 1,000 women that are just look like supermodels that are single and live in Johnstown. It's just not the case. Hey, straight to the point outdoors. I appreciate you stopping in. Have a great night. Always Daniel. Okay. Now, I'll give you guys a name that I think is deserving of a nomination. If I was on the panel, I would not vote yes, but I think he's a worthy nomination, and that's Roger Ragland. We mentioned him a few weeks back as guy that corny and has had some hunting shows and hunting videos and that sort of thing. A pretty accomplished hunter if you've seen his trophy room. She's too busy catching all the fish. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's I think he's a worthy nomination. I don't know if he'd get in, but he'd be worthy of mentioning and could get in there. Les Johnson. Now, see, I want to say the name that I was thinking of started with a C, like a Cartwright or a Calhoun. I can't come up with it. Anywho, Predator Quest. Okay. Any other Hall of Fame worthy outdoorsman? Could be a survivalist. Could be a bushcraft specialist. Could be a famous conservationist. Could be a retail innovator. A tournament superstar. I don't know. Someone earlier mentioned Kevin Van Dam, and I didn't take that very seriously, but that joker's won a lot of bass tournaments for the biggest stage of bass fishing. He is very accomplished. He's won a lot of those tournaments. Some of those guys make a career of it, finishing in 6th place, 10th place, 3rd place. Maybe they win one tournament. Okay, Cody, thanks for stopping in. Have a good night. Be safe. Yeah, that could be part of it too. I just don't know who any of them are. I think I mentioned them earlier when you mentioned them, when you were mentioning them. I don't think I have anybody else. I'm just kind of scrolling back, seeing if I missed any good recommendations. I probably did. Quint? Who is Quint? I don't even know if Backwoods Mindset is still here. But yeah, Roland Martin was mentioned for sure. Creek Stewart is a accomplished survivalist. Okay. Creek Stewart. I'm not familiar with him at all. What about anyone from those Alaska shows? There's a lot of survival skills up in Alaska that you would think people would rely on. Anyone from Alaska that was famous? Quint from Jaws. Was it Quint or just Quinn? I thought his name was Quinn. Was it Quint? Huh. Now you make me want to watch Jaws again. Is Jim Shockey from Alaska, or did he just hunt up there a lot? Sarah Palin. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. That's a famous person. Is that person famous for hunting or fishing or outdoorsy stuff? I don't think she is. Some people would say she's infamous. Now, I have no problem with her politics, Eileen, right? Quite substantially, so whatever. But for an outdoors Outdoors Hall of Fame, I don't know. No, not going to swim in. All right, Heath, thanks for coming in and dropping some knowledge on our group on the live stream. I really appreciate it. You have a good night. Lewis and Clark, they were frontiersmen, frontier survivalists to the extreme. Absolutely. Actually, the Wrights trapping, the last time I was at the ocean was the Outer Banks, and I didn't see any sharks. But the time before that, I was at Myrtle Beach, and I did see a shark. I saw a bull shark, and it was about no, it wasn't a bull shark. It was a blacktip shark. It was substantial. It was a good 5-footer. And it was, I don't know, 8-10 feet away from me. And I wasn't deep. I wasn't way out deep in the water. Like if you don't factor in the wave, like the height of the wave or the trough of the wave, just the normal depth, when the water was flat for a moment, I was in water that was probably about mid-thigh, and he was about 8 or 10 feet away. It got our attention real quick. I mean, I didn't freak out, but I was like, shark, 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 and we bailed right on out of the water. Jesus, yes. Quite the outdoorsman. Heck of a carpenter, too. Yeah, okay, Daniel. Have a good one. Jim Bridger. Okay. Fishing frustrations. No. I've never seen that one. Well, folks, I usually ramble on for an hour, and I have rambled on and rambled on and rambled on well beyond an hour. So I appreciate y'all coming in. I really, really do. One of these live streams, I got to get people up on panel with me. Maybe I'll come up with a little bit better topic to discuss, and it'll be better discussed in like a panel format. I don't know. Maybe I'll work on that for next week. But I certainly appreciate you folks coming in. I think this was a lot of fun. Trying to think about guys that are truly the elite in our niche, in our world of the outdoors. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a great night.